Greetings, Pool Player Nation. I'm Jason Bowman. I'm joined by Bill Tufts, and we are just days away from this year's U.S. Amateur Championship, an event 18 months in the making, and we are ushering in a new era for the U.S. Amateur Championship.
Yes, we are. So it has been a long time. We did have some residual effects of COVID. Basically put us a little bit behind schedule. Prelims were played last year for the most part. We just concluded our lone prelim this September, and now we're looking to take this event to the Wyndham.
Yeah, so we are moving to the Wyndham Orlando Resort. That's on International Drive, right there in the theme park capital of the world, Orlando, Florida, November 2nd through the 5th. Bill, what can you tell us about the new venue?
The facilities are great, right? So it really does start with the tournament portion for us. The actual ballroom that they've got allows us to set up the event more akin to what we're doing, say maybe the finals room in Vegas, kind of blended with a little bit more of that kind of setup. Whereas in the past, strokers, it was strokers, and we just did our thing there. This time, we get to say over where things are going to go. It's going to be a little bit more spread out, more tables than ever. So that's excellent. The hotel side, Jason, we both got to stay there. Very enjoyable, nice grounds. Food options that are in and around. I mean, the whole setting, everything about it just works, and we believe it's going to be a great move for this event.
Yeah, so it should be, again, like you said, kind of more of a mini version of our Vegas events. Those that have been out to Las Vegas at the Westgate, a little more in tune with that than it's been when we've been at a hotel property and then had to drive over to the host location, the pool room, which should really be great. Nice for everybody to kind of be able to stay under one roof throughout the event, right?
Yeah. Everybody being in the same place is something that we really draw upon whenever it comes to Vegas, and it really kind of creates a whole different atmosphere. Everybody's hanging out, watching the matches. When they're not watching the matches, they're hanging out with each other. They're going out, and we didn't see as much of that. The last few years in Tampa, we saw it at Strokers, absolutely, when everybody was there. But yeah, the drive did make it a little bit more complicated. Pretty as it was across the causeway, a little more complicated. This time, everybody's under the same roof, right? So we're going to get kind of that synergy, and we really hope that everybody really enjoys being around the rest of their competitors throughout the week, not just when they're at the venue.
Yeah, so how many, I know we're bringing in diamond tables, 9-foot diamonds, all the same tables this year, which is also another change from the host location. How many tables are we talking about for this year?
We are bringing in 20 tables this year. So that affords us the opportunity to, one, make a schedule that's a little bit better for the players, specifically the women. We were having to start the women pretty early the last few years just due to the table count. It's hard to find a place that has 14 9-foot tables. But with the new relationship with Diamond, being able to bring in the 20 really helped us kind of condense down the schedule, make it better. Everybody's there, again, kind of at the same time. And it allowed for some limited practice as well, which is something that once the round started, if we were using all 14 tables, we were using all of them. But we set aside a few for some practice throughout the event.
Nice. So it should be a great event. Again, it's in Orlando in November. So as the rest of the country starts to cool off, Orlando stays warm and sunny, hopefully. Hopefully I didn't just jinx it. And that property there at the Wyndham, like you said, we went down last year and checked it out. Beautiful place, nice pools right there in kind of the middle. The hotel property kind of circles everything in the middle. So you got a really pretty courtyard area, pools.
Couple pools. Pools.
Lots of areas to hang out and just kind of relax.
Yeah, outdoor bar. They do have restaurants on site. But in and around it, specifically, if you guys see in the picture here, you see the Ferris wheel back there. Icon Park's right next to it. Attached to Icon Park, dozens of restaurants are in and around it. There's also Icon Park itself has some attractions. You can see Topgolf from the venue as well. I mean, everything's in and around there, including Universal Studios and that just down the road.
Yeah, so there is definitely a lot of entertainment options there. You mentioned the restaurant options. I would say within walking distance in Icon Park, you're talking several dozen restaurant options in a variety of price points. So hopefully can meet every need, depending on what you're looking to eat and that kind of thing. So should be a great event. Let's talk a little bit about, I know most of the players that are coming to the U.S. Amateur Championship have experience traveling to some pool tournaments, whether they're ours or somewhere else. But just for those that haven't, some important reminders when it comes to packing. Obviously, Orlando in November tends to still be pretty warm. Keep that in mind. As far as the venue itself, though, sometimes it gets a little cooler because we keep the air running.
Yeah, we're not entirely sure. I mean, when we were there last year, we were there at this time of year.
Right.
So, and it was warm. I believe you jumped in the pool,
Right,
actually.
yeah.
So it was warm enough. Inside the venue, though, it seemed comfortable. Didn't seem too cold, right? We know that happens in Vegas. We've got a lot of bodies out there that was really hot.
Yeah.
We're not exactly sure how that'll go, but definitely pack accordingly. It is fall still, so just because it might be in the 70s one day doesn't mean it won't drop down.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to make sure you pack appropriately for both outdoors and indoors. Sometimes indoors can mean a jacket too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it can cool off at night down there as well when you get into November. So keep that in mind. The other thing that we want to mention is packing your cue. As most of you guys know, you cannot carry your cue case onto an airplane for those that are flying into Orlando. You're going to want to make sure that you pack your cue case into a checked bag as your means of transporting it down there to Orlando. So don't try to take it through TSA and carry it on. Have heard stories in the past about people that were able to do that, but you know, I would say that's the exception more so than the rule.
you're absolutely right. And we do get a lot of people that fly down. We get a lot of people that drive as well. So it's a little bit different than say the Vegas venue there as well. But we're talking about players that go all over with their cues. I think for the most part, you guys know what to do, but as Jason's saying, don't count on the airlines allowing you to take them on. It's just not a given. Make sure you account for that.
Yeah, we don't want you to have any surprises on your way to Orlando. So when you finally get to Orlando, if you're coming by airplane, you're going to need to get from the airport to the hotel. I would say it was maybe 10, 15-minute drive.
Yeah, if that.
You know, rental car obviously works, but I think Uber and cabs are a good option for this particular event because, again, with so many things surrounding the venue, you know, I think you'll probably be able to park your car and then walk most places. Now, if you want to get to Universal or some of the theme parks, or if you're getting really ambitious and heading, you know, to the beach, I know Daytona's about an hour away, you're definitely going to want a car for that. But for those that are just planning to kind of be in and around the venue, I think Uber or a cab from the airport to the Wyndham, probably your best bet and your best, most cost-effective option.
Yeah, and that's how we did it. It really is a different thing this time around. The need for a car, I didn't see a need to have one. Once you're there, everything's all around you, within walking distance, just as you said. So pretty convenient, and it's not far from the airport at all. Like you said, less than 10 minutes.
I think I remember there was a gas station right next door to the hotel too.
It's actually on property.
Water,
kind of like
drinks or whatever.
right there.
Yeah.
You know, it's on another corner. The hotel's really gracious about all the food options and about the gas station itself, and bringing, you know, some things into the hotel. Not everywhere is cool with that, but they were pretty cool. So you got all the conveniences you need, right? And we're gonna have food on site, of course, and drinks and all that stuff. But hey, if you're in your room, you want to eat a little cheaper, you want to do something, you have those options too.
Yeah, so lots and options. You'll hear us say that quite a few times throughout this preview. Lots of options there at the Wyndham. Wanted to mention we do have player registration and a photo shoot for each division. The women's division on Thursday, November 2nd from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. There is a mandatory player registration and photo shoot for the open division. I almost said the guys. The open division, that's going to be the same day, Thursday, November 2nd, but that's going to be 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And again, those are mandatory. That's where you're going to register. I think we've got some registration gifts for those that have qualified. And we also are going to do a quick photo shoot with you. And the reason that we do that quick photo shoot is for the player graphics that have become really popular for the players. You see a lot of them, you know, make them their profile pictures on social media. We also use those player graphics, though, for the live streaming, which we will be live streaming several rounds a day from Orlando. Double J, our good friend Jeremy Jones, Moscone Cup captain, will be there to do commentary. So, you know, if you want to make sure that you have a good chance of getting on the stream, you need to have your photo taken, because without those photos, it will reduce your chances of being selected to be on a live stream match, because we simply don't have the graphics that we need for it. So keep that in mind. Please make sure you're there for your registration and photo shoot times. Again, for the ladies, that's going to be November 2nd, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I know it's early. we'll be up, so you'll be up, and we'll be ready to go. And then for the guys, or for the open division, I got to stop saying that, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. also on Thursday, November 2nd. So please plan accordingly. Please dress accordingly. And, we'll plan to see you at the registration.
Yeah, so while you guys are doing your thing, we will also have our tournament directors on site available to answer any questions you guys have. Definitely want to get a lay of the land. So as you said, they're going to be up early. We'll be up early, but I think there's going to be a good buzz that first day. Don't you guys do a bio sheet as well?
Yeah, we'll be sending that out. The participants should, if they, by the time they've seen this video, hopefully they've already gotten the email, fill that out, give us some information about yourselves so we can know what to say about you, kind words to say during the live stream so you can look forward to receiving that. Yeah, we're going to talk about something. It's either going to be good or it's going to be made up. So let's make sure it's good and not made up. And fill out those bio sheets, especially you guys that like to put like the one-word answers. Yeah. It's a little bit more than that, right? We want to talk nice about you. So, I don't know if there's a lot of other things to say in terms of a preview. I think it's going to be a great venue. It's going to be a great event. The weather hopefully will be fantastic. So obviously lots to do, and we've talked about all that. As far as participation, player meeting notes, I know there are some things you want to cover with that.
Yeah, so just to get it kicked off, make sure you guys are looking at the finalist guide. The finalist guide has everything we're going to say here. There's a couple things we're going to say that aren't in there, but for the most part, everything's in there. Make sure you have that on hand. We'll have it posted around the agenda and things like that. Make sure you're paying attention to those because we run on time. We try to. So starting off with the agenda, make sure you pay attention to it. The match schedule and the tournament brackets, those will both be posted as well. We do our tournament brackets through CompuSport, which I think most of our players are familiar with it.
Yep.
It's compusport.ca is the link. You can also download it in your Google Play Store or your Apple Store.
Nice.
Make sure you have that. That's how we release match times. That's how we release table numbers. That's how you know who you're playing, when you're playing, basically. So make sure you guys download that.
And that's usually what, 24 to 48 hours before the start of the event that comes out?
Yeah, right around there, around there. So the format's the same as what you guys did at the preliminary, right? When we're talking about the women's format, we've got a race to 5, 3 games of 8-ball, 6 games of 9-ball. This is on a double elimination bracket. However, for the final match, we do an extended race. So for the final round, it's a race to 9, 6 games of 8-ball and 11 games of 9-ball. As you guys did the preliminary, winner of the lag has the choice of the game or the break. Once a game is chosen, the complete set must be played. So for the open division, the format is a race to 7, 5 games of 8-ball, 8 games of 9-ball, with the final round extended race to 11, 8 games of 8-ball, 13 games of 9-ball, and again, winner of the lag has the choice of the game or the break. So just like what you guys did at your prelims, just going to be a little bit fancier, right? And a little bit more on the line. You brought up dress code. So I want to make sure that everyone knows it's not just pictures. It's every single round of the USAM.
Right.
We are very strict on it. We will forfeit players if they are not dressed appropriately and cannot get changed in a reasonable amount of time. Guys, this is all in the event guide too, right? The finalist guide. So make sure that you're looking at it. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us and on specifics. But in general, the women's proper dress includes casual slacks, dress pants, capris, skirts, dresses, shirts in good taste. Now that can be a little, taste can vary.
Right.
But when we're talking about that, we're talking more like the polo kind of look or something nice, nothing too revealing, nothing too, holes, tattered, that kind of thing. So make sure you're wearing shirt in good taste. Dresses and skirts must be of conservative length. Proper footwear must be worn at all times, and all attire, again, must be clean. There are no hats, t-shirts, shorts, athletic apparel, cargo pants, or jeans allowed. The one question we normally get here are the jackets. You get kind of those sportier kind of jackets. We'll judge those on a case by case. Again, if it's cold, we understand.
Right.
We'll make some, but it still has to be nice, guys. It still has to be nice. So whenever we're talking about the open or the men's dress code. Proper dress includes casual slacks, dress pants, sleeved shirts in good taste, proper footwear, and all attire must be clean without tears, holes, or stains. Again, no hats, t-shirts, shorts, athletic apparel, or cargo pants.
All right, there you have it. Dress it up, Pool Player Nation. Again, this is our most prestigious event, and we like our participants to look the part.
Exactly. And it really does start with the photo shoot too.
Yeah.
That's all about looking the part. You've earned this.
Right.
You've earned this chance to be in this tournament, and it is a unique tournament, very prestigious. We want it to definitely look the part. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. We will be on site. If you got a specific article of clothing you're not sure, let us know. We'll address it.
Good.
Okay. So assuming you've got your bracket, you're dressed appropriately, your match has been released through CompuSport, right? You're going to go straight to your table. All the tables are in one room. That includes the stream table. If you're on the stream table, there will be special instructions, and we'll inform everybody, what those instructions are on site. You're not going to remember it now. Anyway, so if you make it there, we've got special instructions for you. For everyone else, once that match is released, it's called, you're going to go straight to the table. Our staff will actually run the score sheet out to you. There will be one score sheet per table, and both players are to keep score. All right. We get score sheets turned in that don't have the score completed. It has happened. We want to make sure you guys keep score. Occasionally, a game gets missed, right? Because somebody wasn't paying attention. That's a little awkward.
Yeah.
That's a little hard to figure out sometimes. So make sure you guys are keeping score. Make sure that your opponent is keeping score accurately as well. And we will have staff that'll be walking around actually trying to figure out the score, because we got a lot of people back home that want to know what the score is. So we're going to try to provide some of that service to them as well. So make sure you're keeping score. At the end of the match, both players are to sign the score sheet, and the winner will turn it into the control desk. Again, that'll be right there in the room, so you guys won't be able to miss it. And then if you guys have any questions, there's always staff at the control table that you guys can ask. We probably ask that you don't ask too many questions of the guys in the booth.
Right.
And their table. You guys will definitely know which table is for the general match play versus the stream play.
We have headsets on our ears, and we're speaking and looking at a camera. That's not
box,
not a good time to ask questions on dress code.
Yes. So not only do we have the staff at the control table, we got the staff at the stream. We also have floor managers that will be working the event. These guys are functioning as the referees as well. So not only are they there to make ruling judgments, calls, but they'll actually watch shots too. So if a shot is close, make sure that you call one of our tournament directors on site. If a tournament director gives you an answer that you don't agree with, you believe that it's incorrect ruling, you can always ask for an event supervisor. I'll be there. You can ask for me. Counterpart Zach will be there in the evenings. You can ask for him. But we want to make sure that we get it right. And sometimes it, may not be the correct call.
Right.
And we want to make sure we get it right. So the best time to do that is when it's happening, not after the match is over. If you continue to play on, there's nothing really we can do about it. So we want to get it right in that moment. So make sure that you guys know, it doesn't end with the tournament director. You can always ask for that additional level. Now, when it comes to the judgment calls on a good hit, bad hit, their call's going to be final. All right? If they watch it, their call stands. So some other questions we always get is, are we allowed to push out? Yes, you're allowed to push out. Just like the preliminary, push outs are allowed. Jump cues, are jump cues allowed in this? Typically not in regular APA play,
Right.
Just Masters, just USAM. You can use your jump cues at this as well. Everybody always asks about the 3 foul, which would be pretty interesting for 8-ball.
Right.
But there is no 3 foul rule.
Okay.
No 3 foul rule at all. So we will be streaming the matches. As we said, there'll be special rules in there regarding lag and everything, but basically the rest of the rules all fall in line with the official team manual, right?
Okay.
The rules, general APA rules. So make sure you guys are familiar with that. You should be. You already played in preliminary under those rules. No different here. Couple of housekeeping things we'll just say, the room's pretty big. It's 30,000 square feet. cell phones will still be a thing. We will still ask you to turn down your cell phones during these matches. Also, make sure if you're taking pictures of the room, no flash photography, all that kind of stuff. And you'll probably hear us go through this ad nauseum
Right.
through those first couple of days.
Especially when it happens,
Yeah.
you'll hear us
Yes,
announce it.
exactly.
If you hear us announce it, you know somebody did it.
As far as practice tables, there's no practice in between rounds except on designated practice tables. There will be some, limited, but there are some. So we will have that particular area or those tables designated so that you guys know which ones are available. And then we'll work with the players to make sure that, everybody's getting their turn to play on them, that somebody's not just camping out there for hours.
Okay.
No headphones during play. Smartwatches, no. I don't think there's a lot of coaching in this one anyway, guys. I don't know who's going to coach these players too much. Maybe Jeremy.
Yeah.
But
I don't know that any of these players are going to listen to coaching.
yeah, maybe Jeremy. Yeah, but otherwise, we're still going to ask you to take those off just for the perception of it, right?
Sure.
Make sure you take those off. And that's pretty much it, Jason. I mean, like I said, it's all covered in either the finalist guide you can find on poolplayers.com for the rules, and you can always reach out to us if you have any questions in between.
Awesome. So there you have it, guys. That is your virtual player meeting for those of you that will be joining us in Orlando November 2nd through the 5th as we usher in this new era for the U.S. Amateur Championship. Everybody's very excited. For those of you that were not fortunate enough this year to qualify for the U.S. Amateur Championship, the good news is the entry window for next year will be opening during the event. So you can go ahead and get signed up and plan to play on a preliminary board next September. So I know we've had a lot of inquiries.
Back on schedule,
a lot of inquiries this past year with the kind of the change in the schedule. So again, for those of you that are going to join us in Orlando, we can't wait to see you. For those of you that are looking to make it to Orlando next year, you can start signing up for that starting November 2nd on our website, poolplayers.com. So with that, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up, and we will look forward to crowning our U.S. Amateur champions in Orlando here in the very near future. Thanks for tuning in.